I often enjoy sitting in our little home to be, pretending it already is what it will one day become. But we're still waiting our turn in line for the foundation to be poured, so for today's video, we'll just focus on the A-frame build before we get too comfortable here. As you saw in the last video, we put a mattress in the upper floor of the A-frame, which was very silly, as the interior of the A-frame wasn't finished. We haven't slept inside yet because it's a total construction site as we've begun work to complete the walls. These walls are made up of foam insulation board sandwiched between 2x2s with corrugated steel on the outside. The trick for completion of these walls has been finding a balance of efficient installation, something that wouldn't take up all of our time to complete, something effective and creative. The majority of the walls are made up of foam, so attaching anything can only be done on the small sections of wood, and affordability, which right now is a joke, because everything is so expensive. You guys had some great ideas, thank you, keep them coming. And we landed on plain old plywood. 5 years ago, I'd have laughed if you'd told me 8 sheets of 1/4-inch plywood would cost me over $400, but it did. And the price of stain wasn't friendly either.
Well, if you're gonna rain, don't just spit on us.
The plan was to cut the plywood sheets into 1-foot sheets that we'd stain and lay on the walls. It was to be a very quick process. A few cuts, some sanding, a simple coat of stain, and a breezy install. But of course, that's absolutely not how it went.
We don't have flat ground or a table saw, so we're gonna have to get creative with how we do this. Yeah, like you said.
A very simple way to make straight cuts in plywood is to use another piece of plywood as a guide. One day we will have a table saw of our own, but right now we don't even have a table, so one step at a time, am I right? But Elsa, why don't you get a table? Well, we did get a temporary table, but we still don't have a place to put it. Nor do we have a place to put supplies or tools other than bins scattered all around our land. This is why people who build their own homes, like James and Doreen, build shops before they build their homes so that they have a place to work from. Speaking of James and his shop, we will give you an update on that a little later. We spent a good bit of time sanding all the edges of the plywood, which later gave all the boards a very finished look on the walls.
Sweet. Now I gotta get it out. Okay.
Finally, it came time for staining. See what I'm doing here? This was a very expensive mistake. Ooh! It's red.
Yeah, we picked this one because we thought it didn't look red.
Maybe it won't once we wipe it off.
Yeah.
I think it looks nice. It is really red though. We were going for not red.
It's so much lighter than I thought.
It's way lighter than the picture, but...
Yeah. And it's way redder.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this looks like all the ones that we didn't.
I know. Neither of us prefer the look of warm-toned stains, just personal preference. We were going for something dark and neutral. Dark because this is a sleeping and lounging space, while inside we want eyes to be drawn to the windows and the beautiful scenery, similar to how the eye is drawn to TV screens in dark sports bars. As the stain dried, it became a really pukey orange color, nothing like the image on the can.
Elsa, why is that one so different?
Because all the dark color that we wanted was at the bottom of the can. It's true, and it's embarrassing. I did not stir the paint.
The red to dark gradient Like it starts red, and then it gets
That's the one
darker and darker,
But this
and then
specific
it's like
one,
black.
red to black.
This guy's.
That's the one I found out on.
Oh, this looks so good though. I love the dark. The red looks like a freaking barn.
How stupid. Like, duh. But now everybody will know to stir their stain on our behalf.
Everybody already knew that. That's a rookie mistake. I can't believe you guys didn't stir your stain all the way. Now the inside of your A-frame's gonna look like a frickin' barn.
I just keep thinking about how it's so cool that we are building a house before we build our house. So we're making a bunch of mistakes now before we have to like see all those mistakes every single day in our main house.
Okay, is that all the announcements?
Yes. And so, we took another 45-minute drive to the nearest lumber yard to get another can of stain.
Find a beat. Come on, you have more rhythm than that.
There's all the stuff from the bottom that we didn't get yesterday. We stirred life into that stain, and upon our first strokes, it was still red, but more of a brown red.
I think these look a lot better letting it rest on there.
Which was our next staining mistake. God help me. Hoping a third coat of stain would take away more of the red, we left the stain on without wiping it off, giving us super dark and relatively muddy looking panels. Pro tip for all the noobs like us, wipe off your stain. We forgot that there was a window up here, which is going to complicate things a bunch, so we're just going to do the flat side first.
Forgot to wipe off excess stain. For a small project, the easiest solution is to wipe with a cloth dampened with some mineral spirits. The spirits effectively dissolve the tacky pigments without affecting the stained wood surface. I'm trying to fart downstairs. We chose to go with a darker stain. I know it's a small space, you should always do light colors, but the darker space I like because then we can work on our computers and stuff, and I think it makes it feel cozier.
We just like dark colored stain.
Yeah. And then, yeah, with our big windows and stuff, I think it'll just look really nice because then you'll always be looking outside.
We learned quickly in the scamp that anything light colored is very, very hard to maintain, especially when you don't have any running water in the space. So if we did leave these really light,
They just get dirty.
yeah.
Now we got to figure out how to frame around this window.
At this point, we took a break from the project. We've secured all the tools we think we'll need for the exterior stone siding, a process I'm very excited to jump into. This is James and Doreen's shop we helped build during the community barn raising a couple videos ago. Apparently we can take mineral spirits to knock off the extra.
Why didn't you wipe it off?
James needed help installing sliding glass doors for a loft area he plans to build.
I want the wall to come right to my seam.
Okay.
Hi.
So my shoe box.
Look at
I've run equipment before. This makes great video for interest, but poor video for safety. This is definitely not ocean cruise.
Hi, it's me. I know that our home build might not be very riveting right now. As I said before, we're still waiting our turn to have our foundation completed, and the delivery of our cement blocks has been put on hold because they can't find drivers to deliver them. This house build has been very hurry up and wait, and I imagine it's going to continue to be very hurry up and wait. So during the in between, we'll continue showing you the A-frame build and a bunch of other fun projects that we've got going on the land. Through all of this, we're not only working on our home, but we are working on a space that we can hopefully share with you in the future. If you would like to help us out and give us a small token of financial support in turn for all of our free, entertaining, and educational content, Patreon is a great place to do that. Our mission has always been to keep everything free and accessible to everyone. So don't give us any financial support if you need that to build your own dreams. Comment and a thumbs up and a subscribe means the world to us. We honestly started Patreon a few years ago because people asked us to make one. We don't offer any wild perks or anything. It's honestly just an avenue to financially support the work that we do. To those who are patrons, we respond to every single message, every single question, and going forward, we'd like to have monthly patron-only video calls. I think that'd be really fun. I will also give first access to patrons for all my jewelry sales, and soon, Barron's book sales. And by the way, we're curious if you guys would rather have an ebook or a physical book, or an audiobook. What do you think? As always, we appreciate you guys truly more than you know. Truly, truly more than you know. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next one.